What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nashtaters here, bringing you back another stream. I've been kind of out of the game for a little while, and I was supposed to, generally speaking, stream on Fridays, but I decided to move it to tonight because I just wasn't really feeling up to it yesterday, to be honest. But tonight I'm here and I'm ready to discuss some stuff about what I want to do moving forward into the future. I think this game is slowly kind of like, what's the word here? It's like, it's slowly kind of dwindling down for me a little bit. But I think I just kind of have to make a decision if I want to continue doing things, right? And it doesn't really have to necessarily involve War of Divisions or not, right? It really doesn't make a difference. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my dailies real quick. As you can see, I have my little setup here. So this little setup is kind of neat because I got this cool little gadget from the wedding that I went to, and I'll show you right here if I can pull it up here. As you can see, this little gadget, basically it's just a thing where there's a magnet and attaches to my phone. So it's a little sticker now on my phone. So it's kind of a little neat thing, and it makes me watching shows or something a little bit easier on my phone, and I don't have to hold it in my hand, and it's kind of cool. I like it. So we'll talk about what's been going on in my life, and then we'll go ahead and get the stream rolling here. I don't think I'm gonna do any ads because I don't feel like I need to do ads for this. But as you can see, I actually just logged in today, and we shall see in terms of, well, this is a nice little feature. They got the badge purchase. I think that's a nice little update. Honestly, with anything that they updated lately, I kind of wish they did it, a while ago, because honestly, how hard can it be to do that kind of upgrade, or at least in the beginning of the game? But the nature of gacha games is what it is, right? It's over time, they like to give you little upgrades. They like to give you little quality of life improvements. Therefore, it keeps the players engaged. It keeps the players wanting to play. And ultimately, the little things really kind of help people decide if they want to play or not after a while. I'm going to get my farming action going here before... Well, hopefully, generally speaking, I stream on Fridays. So I'm not exactly sure if people are on board with that little switch up, but we'll see. We'll see how tonight goes. Because honestly, I'm planning on streaming more than one day, perhaps in the future. Casually, of course. Nothing hardcore, nothing set in stone. Because as time progresses, this is a gaming channel, right? I mean, I like to do this for fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is definitely entertainment for me. Just to be able to have some engagement with folks. And I think there's some other games I really would like to play. I really would like to play some other games. I know a lot of people are probably thinking about walking away from this game. Actually, I just got a notification earlier. So Jerry, if you're still watching this somehow, some way, shape or form, good luck to you. He's been joining my stream. He kind of essentially joined my stream probably in the last couple of months. And he's been a good supporter of this channel in my streams. Hate to see him go, but wherever life takes you, best of luck to you. But I think ultimately for me, War of Divisions is still a great game. It's just I'm having a little harder time logging in. I feel like the grind has gotten to me quite a bit. And I actually thought about making a video, actually, believe it or not, that talks about perhaps I've been playing this game wrong. Perhaps my approach has been wrong. And maybe I will put that video up, regardless of how big the audience is going to be. I think the target audience now is, generally speaking, just, people who don't perhaps want to go hardcore on this game. I think there's a lot of good solid content creators out there for this game. It's just a lot of them are very serious about it. They're very avid fans of min-maxing and doing really well in arena and PvP, match play and things like that. And that's kind of not where I am. Even like Cabbage lately has been focusing on a lot of arena action. I think he's trying to do the top 200, something like that. Like, I believe weeks ago he actually climbed all the way to top 50. But then again, he's kind of a heavy spender. He's spending a good amount of money on this game. So honestly, after building lots of units and building a lot of equipment, there's really aren't a lot of things to do really after a while, right? PvP, generally speaking, seems to be the end game for a lot of people. And it is what it is. And I understand it and I appreciate it. But for me, I'm just really not a fan, to be honest. Like, I just don't really enjoy PvP all that much. It's like, I find that all I'm really doing is building units in this game. That's all I'm doing. Like, every couple of weeks, it's build, build, build. And then take those units for a spin. It seems very repetitive at this point in time. And honestly, it seems a bit boring. I think once you stop caring about some of the units in this game, your love for the game starts to kind of wane a little bit. But let's go ahead and do a shout out to my guild. Let's do a shout out to LCN Vendetta. And we lost a few members, as you can see. I think there's been a lot of burnouts. I think a lot of people are burning out. I think the fact that people are sick and tired of dealing with Yuna, even though I think the last few weeks have probably been a little bit different, right? A lot of people actually are switching away from Yuna, and so therefore how should I say this? I think the meta shift definitely is leaning more towards slashing and things like that, right? It's kind of jumped back a little bit. Like, I had to kind of switch it up, and generally speaking, I'm not even a huge fan of Guild Wars, because I think it takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of little minor details that you have to pay attention to. And I've been kind of lazy in terms of worrying too much about the barracks. Like I said, the reflection here is the fact that I'm not really in a rush to build too many units anymore, because I feel that once you find those few units, those few flavors that you really enjoy, you tend to stick with them. And as much as I don't really enjoy Yuna's, like Yuna, actually, as much as I don't really enjoy Yuna, right? I'm not gonna lie, I don't really enjoy her. I think I got her just because you could say peer pressure. I think that's kind of like where I want to lean towards discussion, is that I feel like when you make content, there's a little bit more pressure to be competitive against other content creators. And I think that ultimately led me to, spend a good amount of money on this game when I honestly probably didn't even have to. Like, there's no need for me to have a lot of the units that I own, because I don't even play with them anymore. And that ultimately kind of becomes the issue at hand for a lot of folks, right? Like, I think, what's going on, Koi? It's good to see you, man. Like, it's good to see you, buddy. I just feel like, when you get to a point in a game, in a gacha game, a mobile gacha game, it gets to a point where I think the approach is wrong by a lot of players, right? I think the approach of wanting to build as many units as possible, wanting to obtain every item that comes along your way, it becomes a chore, it becomes a job. And I think it should be safe for people to skip things. Hey David, how you doing, David? Welcome. And I feel like that's where I kind of went the wrong direction, right? I think I went the wrong direction. I feel like people don't tune in to watch you just so you can play with the new units. Although some content creators go that route, right? Like Diggs likes to go that route because he's a heavy spender. you know, because he has a lot of invested in his channel. He has a lot of stuff invested in this career path, and so he probably figures that spending a good amount of money on the game warrants it because he needs to create content for people. Whereas I'm leaning more towards like, I probably should be thinking about this in terms of as a casual player. But the thing is, if I approach it from a casual perspective and just like play the game as a free-to-play player, then maybe there wouldn't be really a big audience. Even though I always feel like there should be a bigger audience in terms of free-to-play players, right? Players that are trying to squeeze the most out of this game without having to spend a single penny. And ultimately, wasn't the direction that I took. And it's kind of, I don't know, I don't think I have regrets. I don't have regrets, right? I don't have any regrets spending because a lot of the characters I still love, right? Like, for example, the Final Fantasy tactics, the Final Fantasy, pretty much anything that attacks Final Fantasy. Yeah, so it is, right? It really is. It's a monthly engagement thing, right? And for me, there has to be a goal. And I think that's the important thing. Like, I feel like there needs to be a goal when you're playing this type of game. You need to have goals. You can't just blindly pick up a phone, pick up a game, and say, I'm going to play it every day. Because, you know, once you get past the honeymoon phase, right? With any new game that you pick up, there's a honeymoon phase. You're going to be addicted. You're going to want to play it constantly. And you want to just spend every waking minute, second to play the game. As I emphasize on this channel, time is your most valuable resource. Like, seriously, time is your most valuable resource. And for those of you who don't believe that, there is probably something else that you value more. But if you think about it, everything involves time. If you want to spend time with your family, I just said it, you need time. If you want to hang out with your loved ones, like your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, whatever, that's time. You know, you want to hang out with your buddies or your girlfriends, that's time. So time is always going to be the mutually exclusive factor in everything you want to do with your life. David says, these days I'm only going into game now with F2P mindset, like the yes. And I think that should be the case, right? That should be the case. Because if you play these type of games, you know the formula by now. And I think I'm a pretty experienced gamer myself. I've played a fair number of gacha games over like almost a decade by this point now, I would say. So I know how everything works. I know a lot of formulas, like a lot of formulas these companies employ. And ultimately, I kind of fell into that a little bit. You know, the content creation aside, I kind of fell into it anyways, because I was really loving what was going on in this game. But ultimately speaking though, I think I need to take a step back. I've been saying this for a while, and honestly, I haven't spent a penny since I said that. So it's not that I don't want to support the game. It's not the fact that whatever little earnings I'm making on this channel, and of course, a few bucks that people have donated so far, I still promise this. I'm only going to spend that money on games that I play. And in this case, it's going to be on this game. But I already spent a fair amount of change for this game that it's going to be a lot of catching up to get back to zero, right? Think about it. Like, I already made my investment in this game in terms of monetary spendings. So anything that's given to me, donated to me, I appreciate it, by the way. It's going to be towards spending, whether it be this game or perhaps some other game in the future. You cannot just introduce PvP and not improve it, like give it better rewards or new mechanics. Yes, I agree. Like, I think the class match is very well done. You know, it does get people engaged. And I talked about esports potentially with this game, but I seriously doubt it. I just don't think it has enough folks that are engaged with this type of gaming, right? You know, there's Dota out there, there's Fortnite, there's all these other big titles, there's big genres that people are engaged in. Like, even fighting games is still huge, right? And Overwatch, like those type of games, they attract large audiences. I think ultimately people love those type of games instead of a game like this nature, this genre where, you know, you see this kind of strategy. Like, it's kind of fun for people who enjoy it, but not fun for everybody. We're almost done here. We're just trying to wait for a lot of people to kind of get into the room here. generally speaking, when I stream, people don't kind of show up till like half an hour after I start my stream. You know, I'm not like a big name per se, but I appreciate the folks that do come, you know, on a regular basis to come hang out with me. So I definitely appreciate that. Hey, how you doing, Michael? Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, I did get a haircut because I was at a wedding, of course, about a week ago. So for those of you who are in this room currently, I don't really expect a big turnout today because generally speaking, people are used to me streaming on Friday, right? But if it does have a big turnout, you know, kudos to the people that are here and that are coming. But essentially, I went to a wedding last week. It was very fun. It was very entertaining. I got to hang out with my guy friends that I've known for 20 plus years now. I think each individual that I've been friends with from all those time, I would like to consider them to be lifetime friends, right? Like, generally speaking, your opportunity to meet lifetime friends most likely is going to be in high school and college. And for me, like, kind of got a lot of stuff settled. Like, there were a lot of stuff that have been on my mind, and I verbalized it to them. And it seems to be a very good conversation that I had with some of them. And I think hopefully that moving forward, we're going to have a better relationship developing as well. Like, you know, like, even though I feel like we always have good relationship, it's just that the communication's kind of gone down a little bit because of the fact that I don't really see them as much because we all live in different places. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is, right? And sometimes you have to tend to what's ahead of you or what's in front of you. And worrying too much about what other people are doing in other towns may not be a priority for everyone. And I'm slowly and learning that and appreciating that. So I definitely had a good time. We rented a lake house up in Atlanta. That's where the wedding was. It's like, my friend's wedding was on a Friday morning. Like, you know, it's not a lot of people showed up because of the pandemic. I think we had a lot more people doing the video streaming, you know, live instead of just showing up physically. So since we live so close to him and I know him for a very long time, you know, I felt like it warrants me driving there, right? Because, you know, I took some time off of work. And then, of course, after that, I had to go back to work. And so it was a very long week. It was a very long week. And it really took a lot of time for me to recover. Like, I didn't get good sleep after I went to work. And so it literally took me at least 3-4 days to recover from that entire process. I guess that comes with age, you know what I'm saying? Like, it comes with age. But I did lose a lot of weight for the wedding. I did. It says you should consider a new game if this game doesn't provide you enough fun. I feel like this game is making you feel like a second job. We only live long. Just give it a try anyways. Thank you, David. No, I think I was getting to that. I think I was alluding to the fact that this game still interests me. It's just currently is not interesting me as much as before. Like, I have a very hard time. It's like I feel like I'm dragging my feet to make content. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the content each week has been very lackluster. I think the newer, I think the events, not the events, what do you call it? The collaboration. Uh-oh, War of Divisions is watching. Don't worry, I'm only saying great things about the game. War of Divisions. I feel like the events were a bit long. And I don't like overlapping of events. I think I've said this many times. I think the Nier collaboration was good. I did enjoy the music. I don't particularly enjoy the raid. In fact, after this run here, I'm gonna skip. Go ahead. You guys don't need to watch this. I'll show you how I did with my raid. This game really needs more content, story content. Koi says that. Yeah, Koi, I believe that because in Japan, they did that survey and the players voted that they really enjoy the storyline more. Whereas perhaps the global players, I don't know if they do or don't, but it seems like maybe they don't, but I'm going to show you my shop. I'm going to show you my mock shop. I actually did okay, considering that the raid took place while I was going to the wedding. I simply didn't really play for the entire weekend, right? I hung out with the guys. As you can see, I'm barely putting any effort into the ancient tome of Leonis. I am sure it will come back in the future. So that's my progress, the raid. So In other words, you can see that I have 4 recipes, so which means that I got to level 100. Hey, Edward, how you doing, buddy? Good evening. Yeah, the events are kind of boring right now. So it's kind of like, let me put it this way. Let me just go ahead and show you what is going on. I think War of Divisions, you're not official, but I think you are official. Either way, War of Division, WoTV had just stated that the events are kind of boring. So let's go ahead and check it out, right? No content this entire week for me. You know why? Because look, there's nothing to make. There's literally nothing for me to make this week. What am I going to talk about? The new units? Okay, let's take a look at the new units. Now, I believe Rendell, if I said his name right, Rendell summoned for her, Luel, and has already have a video up where he took her to the arena and showcased her. And by the way, congratulations to Rendell on reaching 1,000 subscribers. I think he already surpassed me, so he's doing really well. Kudos to him, because he definitely deserves it. I go back to TAC just for the story. Imagine a Final Fantasy game with lack story content. Actually, that's a great point, David. Imagine playing an RPG where there's no story. Think about that. Role-playing game with no story, because that's essentially what RPG is. A storyline, right? But I'm not complaining about it. I'm not saying that this game lacks story. I think there could be more development about it, right? Because besides combat, where you just farm all day long, what else are you doing, right? So let's take a look at this. You are Luel, right? She is clearly she's a new unit, right? She is Earth. First of all, she's Earth. She is really cute. The hair seems a bit off for me, but that was a hairstyle in Ragnarok Online, and surprisingly, that was a hairstyle that I chose quite a bit. But anyway, so she has, I think that's, what is that called? I forgot the Rune Knight. That's right, Rune Knight, Black Mage, and this new thing, Scholar, right? Scholar. Okay. Boo boo boo. So Scholar. She does some stuff. So what can we say about Scholar? I don't know, to be honest. I did stop paying attention to this class because I am sure there's people out there who are huge fans, and personally, it just doesn't attract me. The 9 step is great, right? The 9 step, as you can see, it's pretty dope. It's essentially no free steps, unfortunately. There's 0 free steps, but you do get essentially Luel guaranteed at the end if you make it that far, and you get tons of shards along the way. I did a little calculation, believe it or not, even though I spent very little time playing this game lately. But you can get, I think, all the way up to level 99 maybe, if you did everything. But if you're a spender, it's pretty easy to get to level 120. They should do this. Give a new banner unit, but have a story. Yes, I agree. They should give a story. Midnight's Deep. Yes. Are you talking about Midnight's Deep, like the dungeon? Because that was I think, what is it? Isn't Midnight Deep? Isn't that from Midnight Deep? Isn't that like that deep dungeon? So let me go ahead and do my free summon here. Whoops, I skip animation, right? And of course nothing. Of course I wasn't really expecting anything. But I think Luel is one of those things where you have to either love her or you can really care less. She's an Earth unit. I'm sure she does her fair amount of damage and supporting capabilities, but to me, it's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and do some Guild Wars while we continue our discussion. So here's what I'm asking you guys. Okay, here's what I'm asking you guys. I want to keep playing this game. And to be honest, even if I stop making content, I still want to do something else. And lately I got back into playing Summoner's War. It is very emulator friendly, so therefore it never crashes. So here's my other issue. I only have one device that I play my main account with War of Divisions, okay? I cannot play my free-to-play account because I have no way to access it on my phone. And I am really thinking about just giving that account away. Like seriously, just give it away. And I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. It's a great account. It's all full of fires. Mysidia Gaming, shout outs to him. He's a huge fire guy. That would be something, if you're a fire fan, that would definitely be the account to get your hands on. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover continuously on this game. but I'm looking to play other games. This is a gaming channel after all. I should be playing different games. I know it's going to take a lot more work because of the fact that if I decide to showcase other games, I essentially kind of start over, because not everybody who watches the content on this channel are going to necessarily enjoy the content of whatever game I so choose. And of course, the big title I'm waiting on is Diablo 2 Resurrected, because I think that one I'll definitely play, because I want to spend a lot of time playing that game, learning it again, so to speak. But at the same time, I want to enjoy it with other fans of Diablo. I talked to my friends over the last weekend, and they're on board of playing the game. It just brings me such good memories when I used to play that game a lot, right? I used to play a game once a year, but I actually can't even find my copy anymore. But since this game, the Resurrected version, is going to be having a little bit of visual update, I feel like it warrants me to play. And I think it would be fun to play with people who also enjoy the game. Try to play a game that you really enjoy, then go from there. Don't do it just for the channel. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. It's like I play games. I think what happened was the way I approached it was because of the pandemic. I really had nothing to do. You know, like my job was very slow because there was not enough sick people. You know, that was good, I guess. And they kept, asking me to stay home. They didn't want me to come to work because they didn't want to pay people. And so I stayed home a lot. Like literally, I would wake up every day and did nothing. And I think I started doing YouTube because I always wanted to give YouTube a try. And I learned that, like anything in life, it's very hard, right? It's very competitive. It's very hard. It takes a lot of work. And you don't really get a whole lot of reward in terms of monetary gain. But you do get a lot of reward if you enjoy what you do, right? Editing takes a long time, shooting the video and trying to create content in a creative manner, all that takes a massive amount of time. And I think a lot of people don't understand, or maybe appreciate, or whatever the word is used here, is that it's a lot of work for very little pay. Unless you get to the 20, 50,000 subscribers, 100,000, 200,000. And by the way, that will probably can take anywhere from a couple of years to 5 to 7 years, right? I started watching a lot of the content creators for Summoners War again, and I'm learning that a lot of them are in the 200,000 subscriber range, right? There's this Thai guy that I watched a long time ago, and he started off when I was watching him, like, I don't know, 5 years ago. It was like very little supporting, probably like a little bit more than me or less than me at that time. But now he's up to 200,000. That's what it is. Like, you have to pick a game that has long life, longevity. And I'm not saying I'm gonna want to join the Summoners War content creating community. I really don't. I just don't see myself doing what I'm doing or what I have been doing for the past year as a job, right? These guys are doing it as a job. Like this one guy, he literally runs like 6 channels, and all he does is make videos, and he's pumping these videos out like crazy. And I mean, of course he's making money. Like, he's probably making 6 figures, but literally his job requires him to do nothing else. I don't really know if you have any social interactions with, real life friends or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever his issue is. I don't know, right? I don't pry into that. But literally, he's glued to his computer system. He has like 7 or 8, 9 devices. He's playing with all these accounts, so he can constantly create content for all his channel. He's playing all these games. He's playing Genshin Impact. He's playing all these new gacha games that are out, but still while maintaining his main channel, which is the Summoners Wars channel. And he's putting out like 3 or 4 videos for that channel alone, and he's putting out all these other videos on all these channels, right? He does have someone running some of the stuff. Like, he does have a manager of sorts, and I'm not sure if he edits his own video or not, but most of the time he's like streaming it, so that he just cuts the stream into little clips, so he just uploads it. So essentially, he probably has multiple computers where he uploads things while he's doing something else. So all day long he's doing things, and then of course he's creating content for the future as well, right? Like, I don't do that. Like, I tend to just create content of whatever is just out. my style. Like I wake up in the morning, I eat my breakfast, I sit down, play some games, and then I decide if I want to make a video, and then I'll go ahead and to shoot, edit, and upload all within the same time frame. But another annoyance with YouTube, a lot of people don't understand, is once you monetize, the computer, the YouTube side has to check for everything, right? Check for copyright, check for this and that and this. And for the pennies that I'm making, it just simply isn't really worth the effort anymore. Even though I still love the community of WoTVisions, I love you guys very much. You guys are very good people, and I love the game, but the work behind it is just, it's just not really worth the money, right? I could just simply turn off monetization, which I'll probably end up doing that, to be honest. You know, like I think my approach to all this was the fact I just want to see if I could do it, and I did. I was able to monetize within a decent amount of a time window, right? Like I'm thanks to you guys, that was actually very quick. Like even Cabbage, he said he didn't reach 1,000 subscribers until like a year and a half, 2 years. He put in a lot of work. I mean, kudos to that guy. Like he's doing everything for free, right? He's literally doing it because he has passion. And that is the word of topic of conversation today. I know there's only a few of you guys in this room, but I just want you guys to understand. I wonder if people truly understand the word passion, right? Because you hear that all the time, right? You hear it all the time. For some reason where you really have to enjoy PvP, that game is too focused on it. Yeah, I agree. The hype for the WoTVision might come back if collab comes. I agree. Final Fantasy VII collab probably will see a big influx of players, big time. You know, there's a potential for a lot of the content creators right now for WoTVision to see even a bigger growth when that collaboration comes. And you gotta jump on that wagon, right? But my motivation is kind of somewhat very lackluster lately. So not a whole lot of stuff is gonna really make me want to kind of jump onto that wagon. And the way I look at it is this. The key word here is passion. And maybe you guys can kind of chime in. Do you guys think that a lot of people use the word properly, the word passion? You know, like I was talking to my friend because I didn't fly back. I flew to Atlanta and then we drove back. A funny story, actually. He has a Toyota Prius, right? He has a Toyota Prius, and we've been talking about Tesla a lot, right? Because that's the next car he wants to get. And so this whole time we were driving back on the highway from Atlanta, it looked like he was on autopilot because he's talking to me and he's like waving his hand around, you know, gesturing and things like that. He's constantly looking at me while he's talking. And the thing is, I thought he had autopilot on this car. I'm thinking, wow, a Toyota Prius has autopilot. That's so cool. You know, we're driving in the car, riding the car for 8 hours. Here I am thinking he has autopilot there the whole time. And of course, a few days later, when he was still in town, we went out to lunch. And I was like, dude, like your autopilot is pretty badass for your Toyota Prius. He's like, what autopilot? I was like, dude, you were driving without your hand. He's like, well, I had it on cruise control, but he was just guiding it with his knees, you know, the steering wheel. I was like, mind blown, right? I was like, what the hell? We could have crashed like dumbasses. Anyways, that was very interesting. He got me pretty good. If that was a prank, he got me pretty good. But I think here's the thing. I think passion is the word that a lot of people like to use. Maybe toss it around a lot, right? Like they toss the word passion around, the word a lot. And that's actually something he brought up. Like, I'm gonna be honest, my friend, he lately he's generating a lot of money, right? I don't need to reveal how much he has or whatever, but let's just say he has a lot of money. But he tells me like he's very lacking in passion. Like he doesn't really have passion for anything. You know, like I tell myself that on my channel I have passion for video games. I do. I think I love video games. I love to play video games. I'm thoroughly entertained by video games, almost of any nature, to be honest. But do I really have passion for video games? I think that's the word here, right? It's like people use that word passion, like they love something. I guess you can interchange the words passion and love, right? I have love for my fiance, I have love for my family, I have passion for my relationship with them, but I don't know if like that's like passion. I think that's used maybe like inappropriately for other things. Like if you have a hobby, is it about passion? If it's about your job, is it passion? Right? Is it just, or is it infatuation? I talked about the honeymoon phase when you're playing video games. In the beginning, when you download a game or when you buy a game, you open up the package, boom, you insert it into your console or you're downloading the game on your mobile phone. And you're like, wow, this game is so good. The combat is fun, or the puzzling effect is fun, or whatever the word is, or whatever the game you're playing, right? You love it. You start thinking you love the game and you have this infatuation with it. And you go through this honeymoon phase where you cannot wait to log back in or whatever the case is, or turn your console on and just keep playing it for days on end. I admit I have that issue. Like when I play a new game, I literally can't sleep. I just keep playing. Same thing when I read a book. I can't put a book down if I get into a book. I don't really call that passion though, because after a while it quickly fades, right? The honeymoon, once you get over that, it's when things start becoming repetitive. You guys all experienced this. I'm sure you guys all did when you first started leveling your first UR unit, or perhaps your first MR unit, whatever it is. You can't wait. You're like, man, I can't wait to take that unit to 99. I can't wait to get all the skills maxed. You know, I can't wait to get that new equipment, that new golden axe that just came out, right? That event. Everybody remembers that, the golden axe. I can't wait to farm it. I can't wait to build it and give it to my Yerma because I just pulled her. Oh my God, I'm so excited. A few months on the road, every single week is really essentially repetitive. And then I think people start losing interest. And I think the statistics that I've learned is within the first 6 months, if a new gacha game doesn't retain your attention beyond 6 months, they can never get you back. That's it. Like it's very hard to maintain. So after 6 months is generally speaking kind of the core players for a specific game. Now, of course, you can have deviation of maybe a few percentage here and there. But generally speaking, that is the rule of thumb. That is why War of Divisions pays close attention to half-year anniversaries, right? You guys probably all heard about the half-year anniversary that we did. Of course, the 1 year anniversary. And of course, most recently on JP server, the 1.5 anniversary, right? They keep doing the 6 months anniversary because I think that's how it works in the formula in terms of marketing, retention rate, all that stuff. So let's bring everything back full circle, right? I don't think I have passion for a lot of stuff that I enjoy. I think I just love them. I think passion is perhaps the ceiling in which you love something so much that you're willing to dedicate a lot of your time to, if not all of your time. And I don't think I can find anything besides my relationships that I'm that passionate about. Like even my job. I love my job. I love hanging out with kids. But bear in mind, a lot of the times I'm hanging out with sick kids, right? It's not that fun. It really isn't, because it kind of hurts you inside a little bit to see all the messed upness of world, right? Of life in general. Especially when you see like a lot of issues with the parenting skills and things like that. I mean, I'm not going to get into the fine details of all that. But it definitely strikes a nerve. It strikes my nerve. Like, I would do it for free. If I have like hundreds of millions of dollars, I would do it for free. I would go to work and not get paid, maintain my license and practice. I generally would, because I feel like I need to give something back to humanity. I think every human being should have that feeling of duty to do so, right? We're only put on this earth for what they say, average 75 years. You should at least contribute something back. Yeah, for the most part, right? I guess that's a different topic for a different day. Maybe for next Friday thinking. I don't know. David says, my honeymoon period with this game kind of ended when they stopped me from leveling my character due to level lock. Yes, that brings back my next topic of conversation. The game itself is starting to kill itself. The whole level 120 thing, I think it really hurt the game more so it helped the game. I try to be positive. I try to be happy about it, but honestly, I'm still not a fan. I hate it. I can't stand it. And I think if they keep doing this level cap increase stuff every year, I don't care how many collaborations they bring. I don't care if Chrono Trigger comes. I probably won't hang around too much. And I think one thing I noticed about going back to Summoner's War is that they do a very nice job of a balance. The game constantly brings out balance to characters. Some characters get nerfed, some characters get buffed, and it makes sense because that game is like, you can approach it different ways, right? It's a Pokemon game, right? Which is why a lot of people love it. They love the collecting the monster aspect of it. They want to collect them all. Whereas some people really just enjoy the PvP aspect. I really kind of forced myself to enjoy that game from every angle when I first played. But now my second go around, I'm very casual. I just want to collect units and just have fun. No immediate urges to go PvP hardcore, no immediate urges to try to get all the newest units and keep up to date. Because I realize there's no need to. You can enjoy the game in different ways. But I feel like no matter how much I put a spin on War of Divisions, the War of Divisions hurts me in the sense that my approach to life, my philosophy to gaming, it doesn't apply to this game. They want you to do the meta shift every single week. And essentially what it means is pay to win players or heavy spenders are always going to win. And it's not fun. It's not fun for anyone. It's only fun for those people who are willing to spend and get the new units and new vision cards and stuff. It's only fun for them, to be honest. Like for a lot of us who are not heavy spenders or non-spenders or whatever you want to call yourselves, it is not as fun because each week in and out, you're probably playing with only a few units. And when you get steamrolled by your opponents who have the best flavors of the week, it ceases to be fun because nobody enjoys losing. I have never met someone that says, I love losing. Right? No one ever says in a PvP environment, a competitive play environment, they're going to say, I love losing. And unfortunately, that's what this game is leaning towards. They had such great potential, but they don't listen. I think the people don't listen to us. We tell them what we think is good. We tell them what we think is bad, but they think of terms of money generating. And perhaps the pandemic even made it worse because now they're like, need to make more money, right? If you think about it, they need to do more things to make even more money because of the losses perhaps they suffered from the pandemic. And so realistically speaking, I don't know if there's going to be a fix for this game. I think it's one of those situations where you either stick with it all the way through till the end, till the server shut down, or you walk away now. But if you choose to walk away now, there shouldn't be any looking back because I don't think the game is going to be drastically different in 2 years. It's probably going to be the same. Quality of life will improve, of course it will. They're always going to put in changes that are going to make things easier, right? Like this version of the game is much, much better than the version that I played roughly 400 days ago. And that's a fact. But while I'm yapping, let's go ahead and pick some of my opponents. Cleanup duty time, but I am gonna actually challenge myself and see if I can fight one of these people. My team is designed to fight against physical damage dealers, most likely slash units. Let's look up Luca. And I'll keep yapping, okay? So, I guess in a way, I don't know if I really have passion for this game anymore. Wait, there's a Luke and a Luca? Am I missing something here? Is it the same guy with multiple accounts? No, there it is. Luca has... That's a nasty combination, isn't it? Doesn't matter. If I get blown out, I get blown out, right? Mr. Luca, you and me, we're gonna go to town. We're gonna see how this works. Here we go. Me and Mr. Luca. All right, let's go ahead and get into commentary mode because that's what this is all about. You guys come here to look at this. Let's comment. I don't like this map all that much, but let's see. AP restore, which is what I want him to do since he's doing the bulk of my damage. I do have to worry about Mont here because he is fire. But I do have my main tank, which is very resistant towards physical attack. And re-raise on the tank. He has his auto restore, so now we're ready to engage. We're getting to the point where we're ready to engage. That's a very tanky unit. So that's a very, very tanky unit. This might not look so good. I did have my re-raise. Oh no, he berserked me. Oh no, he berserked. I think that's GG, right? That's a lot of heals. I think if I would have had to, the only way I could have lived. King Mon is OP, man. Oh, wow. Can I get, oh no, that's it. King Mon is OP. There's nothing else to say besides the fact that he's OP. It kind of goes without saying, right? He's, oh, okay. We have a chance. I did get a stop, but I have no damage. The only way I can win this is if I can get... Okay, never mind. There it is. All right. I could have just did cleanup duty like a good soldier, but I didn't. What's your guild team? Will you be pulling for Helena? Oh man, sorry to hear your passion for this game is diminished. Well, I don't know if it's diminished per se. I think I just realized my passion was never really there. I probably shouldn't have labeled the fact that I have passion for games. I love games. I think that's more of appropriateness. So Luca beat me down, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Because either we win or we get blown out. It seems like that's always the case. But that was my team. Not the best team in the world. And I think I need to make some adjustments. I think it's more appropriate to not use Warrior of Light. Because he essentially just cannot compete against the other guys, right? But as you can see, my lineup is pretty weak because I haven't really been working on my lineup. I was hoping KOR will be this week, then I can use him. But I'm not going to really change because essentially I'm cleanup duty most of the time anyways. The only reason I went on and attacked somebody was because of the stream. And right now we just always run into teams that just all have meta stuff, right? Level 120 stuff. There's nothing I can do. I hate it. I actually hate it. I can't stand it. But, you know, just doing my duty to do what I do. Just doing my duty to do what I do. I enjoy losing. Losing to learn from mistakes. Yes, that's a great way to learn. Is if you're losing, you have to understand why you're losing. But I'm at the point where I'm just kind of going through the motions. I skip through everything. I don't really care if I lose or win, right? I still enjoy the game, but it does get harder to only play a certain amount of time each day and try to enjoy it and be competitive. The level 120 has been tough to compete against with few level 120. Joshua, we're in the same boat. And you know what, Joshua? I spend money on this game and I still can't compete against people. So that's indicative of anything, right? Become the anti-meta man. I wish. I think Cabbage always boasts himself to be anti-meta, but then it turns out that he just plays with meta. And then a lot of times he loses to the current meta, which kind of sucks, right? It does suck. Will I be pulling for Helena? I'm not sure, man. Keith, I don't know, because I don't have Dwayne. And I think Dwayne and Helena was supposed to be the ultimate combo that's unbeatable at his time. And since I don't have Dwayne, I think pulling for Helena is just half the piece of the puzzle. And I'm not even sure if she will fit well into my team. Like, what I don't understand about this game is the fact that I have the same stuff as these other people that I lose to. But for some weird reason, I do less damage to them, but they do a hell of a lot more damage to me, and I lose. I don't know what it is. It does have something to do with skills that you turn on and off, obviously, the position. But if you think about it, that is ridiculous. That's dumb. The RNG aspect of it is stupid and it's poorly designed. And I'm saying this because I've tried all sorts of ways when I used to care enough to do the mock battles, right? I'm just being honest, right? I'm not saying it because I'm losing. I'm saying it because even when I win, it's stupid. Like either you steamroll them or they steamroll you. Very rarely is it going to be close matches. Very rarely. And we all have the same stuff. All my vision cards are maxed, all my equipments are maxed, all my characters are maxed. So what is the difference between my units and theirs? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. On and off toggling abilities? Maybe. That's still a maybe. And I never understood about wailing and not wailing. Because the only thing I could see a difference is if they're armed to the teeth with your equipment. But most of the time, people just work with what they have, right? Most of the time, most of the stuff that you get from raid, it's only minimal gain of stats, minimal. And I'm not even sure if that little bit minimal is enough to put you over the top. Honestly, I really don't think too much about it, but it is what it is. Hey, Hadid, how you doing? Ranti states, hi Nash, nice to see you stream. How you doing, Ranti? Yes, it's going really well, actually. My life is going really well. My life is actually going really, really well. I'm very content with my life. I think I'm gonna make even more improvements. So for those of you that has joined, I went to the wedding last week, and I'm slowing down on content creation because I'm at a fork road in my life, whether or not I want to continue doing this. Like my fiance says, if you want to keep doing it, you must enjoy it, or else don't bother, because if you don't enjoy it, then you're doing it just to do it, right? You got to do something because you love to. I think I love streaming. I do love streaming. Do I have a passion for it? I don't think so. You know, do I have a passion for even collecting my Transformers? I don't think so. I just love doing it. You know, it's just something to do. You know, I do love it. I appreciate what I pay for. I appreciate looking at them. But I don't know if I truly have a passion for it. We talked about passion earlier, just like, 20 minutes ago. Like, I think people use the word passion wrong, because I think the only time you really use the word passion is for your family and your friends, perhaps. Spending time with them should be a passion, because ultimately you should strive to make those connections and make those relationships work, right? Doing your job is probably most of the time. I would say 89% of the time, people don't have a passion for their job either. They do it because they know they need money. So kudos to those people who actually find passion in life about something specific, right? Specifically, perhaps your career. At least to some people who want to call their job a career and call their career a passion career. Passionate career, whatever the word is. Kudos to people like that, right? I think that's something for the rest of us to be envious of. But for a majority of us, we just kind of grind it out, kind of the same way we play this game. We grind it out. We grind away, and we grind away. And I think I do want to make a couple of videos just to talk about some of those things. And, regardless of how many views I get, I just need to put that out there. I think it's important to kind of give people my opinion about, I think people are playing this game wrong. I think that's why people are quitting. I think that's why people who spend a lot of money are looking at it from a different perspective than the rest of us who are not spending a lot of money, or we're spending no money. I think you have to buy happiness in this game. And those people who say money can't buy everything, well, they clearly don't have a lot of money, because you certainly can buy a lot of stuff in this game, right? Your fiance hitting the nail on the head. Yep, I agree. You got to enjoy some aspect of the thing you choose to do. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. Nice to see what you think about 120 and unbalanced some units have. I agree. Like, there's way too much poor balancing in this game, and the game doesn't do any justification to fix it. I think what we need to see from the designers is we need to see patches in which they balance units. Let's tweak some of these skills. Let's tweak some crappier units that people don't like to use. Let's make them stronger. Let's truly build a flavor of the week by having units that we already own, instead of just giving us new units that, here you go guys, new unit, play with it. I think that's a horrible design, especially a game of this nature where they're gonna just keep adding on units. They need to fix it. They need to balance the things out. For example, see, simple example, right? Yuna was overpowered. They should have nerfed her. They should have nerfed her a little bit, right? And then people are like, okay, now we can safely combat her. But as you just saw, if you have Yuna as a supporting unit, it boils down to the two frontline units. His mom was just overpowering mine because I decided to use Gilgamesh, which is a poor choice, obviously, because I knew mine was weaker than his. I should have used something else. And you guys saw the damage they're doing to my main physical tank, which is, maybe they're using magical skills, attacks, whatever. It's stupid. It is stupid. I'm gonna say it, it's stupid. Poor design games are not gonna last a long time. Unbalanced units, unbalancing, people are gonna get fed up and they're gonna walk away. That's just what it is. If you don't have something specific to deal with something specific, that's poor design. By nature, that's horrible design. That's design in thinking in terms of monetary gain for the company, not in terms of giving people fun for people who want to support the companies. Something to take this home, War of the Visions. If you are truly a spy, take that note down, write it down somewhere, and give it to Justin, give it to Hiroki, give it to his designer team. Because listen, I played multiple games across decades, right? Just as Cabbage keeps supporting this company, keeps supporting the concept of the company is doing the right thing. Let's just be brutally honest, they're not. The only reason he's saying a lot of those things is because he's spending money. He's spending a lot of money to support the game. If you interview Diggs today and ask him, do you think you're gonna have the same experience playing War of the Visions if you didn't spend however much he spent? Let's ballpark it. Let's say he spent $10,000 on this game. Do you think he's gonna experience this game the same way if he didn't spend 10 grand? Personally, I will probably venture to go ahead and 99% assurity that he's gonna say no, right? The same thing you can ask RNJ. I'm sure he's spending a lot of money, right? Because he's trying to make a living off of this, right? Clearly, I think he's a teacher of some sort. Hate to say this, but teachers don't get paid a lot in this society. They don't. So he probably seeing he's making more money from streaming and playing this video game. Great for him. Kudos to him and his family. But you're going to ask him the same question. Are you experiencing this game the same way if you didn't spend money? Chances are people are going to be posting that somewhere along the way. On Reddit, on my comment section. They're going to say, yes, I don't spend any money, but I really enjoy the game. Of course you're going to enjoy the game. Because you're not thinking in terms of how people are thinking in terms of them spending their money. Right? You don't have access to those things that those people have. I've been spending money. I have access to a lot of things. And I'm still frustrated because I realized unless you sit there and tweet constantly, you're not going to be able to be successful. Which is, by the way, part of the game, which is part of the fun, is the mock battle is designed for you to experience it, test things out, and make sure you fine tune your team, your moves and whatever, right? It's like chess, and you want to have fun and draw the most out of it. I think it's because I'm losing interest in some of the aspects of the game. I don't pay attention to the detail of it. I'm sure I can be successful, it's just I choose not to. And I think a lot of times that goes without saying. If you put in the effort, you're still going to reach a ceiling, even though as a free-to-play player, you can probably reach the same level of success I have. It's just that when you spend money, you expedite that process. You speed it up, right? You're just moving forward a lot faster. Example, if I spend, I don't know, $200 on a summoning banner, and I got a unit and someone else don't have access to that unit, and I see success in the raids, the PvE content, so I gain more resources as a result of spending that real life cash. That's what spending gets you in this game. It speeds up the process of success. And that's my thought on that. Hey Lewis, how you doing? Long time no see. I know, it has been fun. It has been fun. I enjoy your streams as well. Yes, gotta enjoy it as well. Only a certain amount of time in each day. Have to use it wisely. I saw a farewell video from one of the content creator yesterday, and I guess it makes sense. Oh, really? Ranti, who is it? Who is the content creator, if you don't mind me asking? And by the way, like, I don't plan on quitting the game, and I don't really plan on quitting my channel. I think I really wanted to take the time to ask you guys, do you think I should change the channel and perhaps use this channel to do all sorts of things, right? You can say my passions, right? I have passion more than just perhaps. Let me backtrack. I don't want to use the word passion anymore. I want to use the word love. I love video games. I love toys. I love movies. You know, I love all those things. Do you think it makes physical sense to change my channel and do that? Instead of Nashtaters Gaming, it will be called Nashtaters Lifestyle. I think that makes more sense. I can literally talk about anything and everything. Because I don't know if you guys know, but there's this girl. She's a YouTuber. She makes probably a shitload of money, and she used to be a gamer because I think her name is SS Wolf Sniper, something like that. Sniper Wolf. I'm sure you guys heard of her. It's like SSS Wolf Sniper, Sniper Wolf. She used to do a lot of gaming. She used to do like a lot of first-person shooters, I believe. You know what she does now? All she does is make videos where she comments about things that's on the internet. which is a great gig, by the way, because she's getting millions of views each video. So she's making essentially, I don't know, 10, 20 grand a video, more or less, give or take. So she's making probably millions of dollars every year simply watching other people's videos and then commenting on them. I don't know how the royalty thing works. I don't even know how that works. I guess if you put your stuff online, does that have copyright or anything? I don't know. But she started out as a gamer, a gaming channel. Now she's migrated to something else. So if I keep calling my channel Nashtaters Gaming and I'm covering like review videos of my Transformers that I buy, is that gonna be something that people don't care? Because you know, like the name of your channel doesn't really mean that much. It's ultimately is you, right? You're the person that they enjoy, or your content is what they enjoy. When Gunner dominate. Okay, hey there, long day. I love Defense Bracer. It works awesome against Gunners, things like that. Help balance. I think you can do variety streams on what they're doing, maybe polls and what people like. Yeah, well, let's talk about that topic first. Yes, one item does specifically defend against Gunners, but that's not balance. I hate to say this. One equipment to defend against something in this game that has been dominant for a very long time on global, it is not balance, my friend. What is balance is you need to balance the skill, you need to balance the speed, you need to balance, you know, like maps. And that's what the game does tend to do very well, is balancing the maps. Each week, each couple of weeks, we do get a new map. So there is changes in that. That allows you to bring out some of your older units to make them successful. What I don't like is that newer units clearly dominate in PvP, which is ridiculous because it shouldn't be that way. You know, yes, you can tweak certain things to try to counteract the meta shift. And to some people, that's part of the fun. But we all know that's not how the game actually works. They want you to spend money or save up your visuals to get the new units so you can play with them, to conquer the new content. If that wasn't the case, then why would they create raids, events to cater to those units? It doesn't take a genius to figure that part out, you know, and that's the formula they're sticking with. Is it going to work or not work? It remains to be seen because the game is still only a year and change old, right? We're going to quickly see where this game is going to migrate or towards in about year 2. And think about it, if FFBE is any indication, there's a lot of people talking trash about how crappy that game has become. It's from the same people. It's the same companies. It's the same formula they're using. It's just mudflation, or as people call it, power creep upon power creep upon power creep over years of power creeping. And it gets to the point where people just simply walk away, or they keep shelling out thousands of dollars to keep up. And I think that's the word, is keep up. Like a lot of people feel like they need to keep up in order to have fun. And I think that's why I keep saying people are playing this game wrong. And we'll go ahead and touch on that topic in a video I'm going to pump out probably next week. Maybe I'm thinking Tuesday makes the most sense. So yes, Desert Maverick does own everything, and I guess he's quitting because he had everything. I think you could do variety streams on what you like. There's lots of games where maybe polls. Yes, that's a good point. That's sad that Desert Maverick is leaving, because during the anniversary stream where all the content creators got together, he was the one that showcased the account as easily, I don't know, 25, 30, 40, 50 grand worth of account. He literally has every vision card maxed, every single unit maxed. I think when he streamed of getting the Bahamut vision card, I think he spent at least $500 on that. I didn't see the stream, but the people are telling me he spent a lot of money to get that card. And I'm sorry to see him go, but sometimes even people who has or had everything is not enough. There's a line that people draw that enough isn't enough, and I hate to see someone like him go, but I guess that kind of solidifies how I'm feeling a little bit about this game, is that I mean, I'm gonna wait and see, right? Here's the thing. For me, I'm gonna wait because right now I'm free to spend or free to play. But the money that people give me, if you guys want, by the way, if you guys want to donate money, feel free to do so. But I just want you to know, whatever you guys give me or donate to me is going to be spent buying packs for the game. And if I stop playing this game, it's going to be on packs on some other game that I play. It always stays in this channel. It never goes to my pocket where I go buy potato chips or pizza or something like that. By the way, I don't do that anymore. I don't eat junk food. But I still drink my sugar-free Coca-Cola. Even though technically speaking, I don't even like Coke. I think I just like the fizz feeling. I much prefer like Sprite or something like that. So anyways, that sucks that he's leaving. But I think honestly though, like this game, it's fun in certain manners, right? Like I think the most fun I have in this game is when I decide that I want to concentrate on get one specific thing done. And I spend a lot of time tweaking stuff that I want to get done for that specific content. And it gets done the way I see, in the way I envision it. Well, I guess that's pun intended there. And then it gets done. It's very, very satisfying. It really is, right? It's like kind of like the way you design something. You know, like imagine you're a physicist or you're a scientist of some sort. And you have this project in your mind. And then you finish the project. And then you present the project. Boom, it goes exactly the way you want it. It's a great feeling. It's a good sense of accomplishment. But what I don't enjoy is PvP. So what I do is I generally speaking avoid it, right? Or just kind of do it just to do it, to get the rewards. Like if there was no rewards in Arena that's worth getting, I would just not do Arena. In fact, on my free to play, I completely I don't even click on Arena map anymore. I don't even bother. Like I don't even do it because the little reward that you gain from it, if you don't enjoy it, it's just not worth even clicking through the menus. And that's just what it is. Like that's just how I feel, honestly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in some grinding action while I keep chatting. Generally speaking, I just grind weapon because I'm looking forward to selection quests. And that will be something probably I will do more of. Trying to get those done over time, right? Try to get those done over time. The throw pulling is the main fun, but not getting the units extreme loves. That is a good point. When you are pulling for things and you get it, it's an exhilarating feeling, right? That's why people love to see summon videos or pulling videos. Watching like content creators pull for things. It's a fun feeling for everyone involved. And when I did those things with my fiance, that was fun. That was a lot of fun when she got what she wanted, when I got what I wanted. It is fun. It is fun. That is without a doubt. Adrian, that's awesome. Hey, Second, how you doing, buddy? Hello to you. Like for me, PvP is boring, right? It's very boring, and especially since it's auto, is even more boring. But when you design your team to do what you want them to do and you win, it is a great feeling, right? I mean, let's be honest, that's a great feeling. And I think that's why people love this game still, because there's a lot of fun to be had. And I think I'm approaching this game wrong. Well, I have approached the game wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to approach the game from a different perspective going into this year 2 here. I'm going to be spending less time grinding for things. And I think people need to understand that. Even if you're free to play, multiplayer, something you should really avoid. Trust me, it is not worth it, right? I say this with general sincerity. Don't play multiplayer unless you absolutely have to. Spending your energy pods is not a bad thing. Because one, you don't have to deal with the lag, the constant getting booted. You don't have to deal with waiting around clicking on buttons, and of course there's auto clickers. I understand all that stuff, but in my opinion, Liara is gonna lose all of her my Liara is gonna literally lose all of her bravery because she's gonna keep dying. I'm trading all these units to get their weapon proficiency up, by the way, so I can kind of deal with stuff later on. But let me see in the next time if she dies. If she dies again, I'm gonna have to retweak these runs. But I think honestly, multiplayer is kind of what hurts this game a lot, right? First of all, why is it designed off of Wi-Fi? I think this is a terrible way to do it. I think somebody already mentioned that to me a long time ago. 2, you don't really need to do it. Yes, you get a little bit extra materials when you do farm on it, but if you calculate the time spent versus the actual gain from it, I stopped doing it. That was the reason why I play alternate accounts, so I can farm by myself using multiplayer. Boy, am I glued to my computer. Not fun. Ever since I stopped doing it, I feel like it's a big burden off my shoulder has been relieved. Seriously, like, my recommendation is ignore multiplayer because it's garbage. It is. And for raiding purposes, you don't need to raid hardcore. Don't do it. Like, my recommendation is, unless you're in a top end guild somehow, like top 10 guild, and you're dropping thousands of dollars each month, there's no reason to even engage in raids. Seriously, you don't. Like, yes, you see me lose, but I'm losing to dudes who are dropping way more money than me. And I deserve to lose because I refuse to spend the time and the effort to farm certain things in this game. But for PvE purposes, you don't need them. Like, you can do really well in this game without even equipping one UR equipment. It's really that bad because when I was climbing the towers and I kept spending hours upon hours climbing those towers, and I get the UR and I get it all maxed, guess what? I don't even put them on. I don't even equip the rings. I don't. Because everything in this game is situational. Certain things are just going to excel more in some situations over others. Which means if you want to have a lot of fun, you want to have, I think, almost everything for specific situations. But you don't need to have the best. Right? Because that's what I talk about, min and maxing. You don't need to min max on every situation. So as long as you can defeat it. And that is even if you want the item. So for example, currently we're working with the new equipment, which is what, a book? Like a book? Because it's for the scholar. If I don't have the scholar, why am I farming it? It's a waste of time. You don't need it. Sure, some people might argue that there might be other scholars in the future, or that you may pull her in your free pool. But it goes back to the idea, you don't need to build every unit in this game. Build the ones you want to play with a lot, right? For example, why are you building, say, Sid if you can't stand Sid? If you don't like something, why are you forcing yourself? Why are you force feeding yourself? That was a good run. Liar didn't die. Liar kicked ass that run. I've been saying this for a year and change now. Like, play the game how you individually want to play it. And I think at that point, you're going to have a lot of fun. I think I was conforming to meta shifting and standards to set forth by the community every time something comes out. Because there's this pressure that I perform because I'm a content creator, right? People want to see me perform, or people want to see me get better at the game, or people want to see me pull for something specific because I do spend money. But now that I've completely cut off spending, because one, the funds I'm generating for my videos is non-existent since I don't put out any videos really, even though I will in the future, maybe just not necessarily always towards visions. Two, when I stream and people want to donate, if people are donating, thank you. If you're not, that's fine too. You know, if I don't see the money there, I'm not going to spend anymore. Like, if people want to see me pull, people want to see me do things, and they want to give me $1, $2, $5, whatever it is, then for me that makes physical sense, right? That makes sense that people want to support me to watch me summon, because I'm verbally saying I don't really want to spend money on this game anymore. So realistically speaking, I'm going back to this saving Visiors type of deal on something specific that I want. But for Helena, I have to probably pass on her. In fact, I'm probably going to pass on a lot of units in this game from this moment on. I have too many as is. And it looks like if you don't have a 120, it's just not competitive enough. So that kind of goes without saying. I don't feel like blowing all of my resources on one unit if it doesn't do anything for my account. Hopefully that answers that question from a general perspective. I only PvP when they say you need to PvP to complete certain challenge bingo. Very nice. That's a good one. If you only need to do 10 arena matches, that should be enough. And class match rules are nice. See, that's the thing. Like, I think if people enjoy actual PvP, class match is the way to go, right? Class match is the way to go, in my opinion. Like, if I was to start another account, that's what I would be doing. I would be personally gearing my entire account just so I could do class matches, just to have some fun. Because that in its own right is good content if you're good at it. I've verbally stated this many times, I'm not good at it. Like, when I stream, people educate me about this game way more than I educate others. I always equip Cecil's TMR when the character dies, so the raise Bravey back on next turn. Nice. I will recommend a casual approach or semi-hardcore if you want to achieve a milestone to every game you play, since the more time you spend on something, the faster the grow bored of it. Christopher, you hit it in the head. Cray YT says, hello, I'm new. How many level 120.99 do I need to do all content? That is a great question. If you were talking about PvE content, you don't need a lot. If you're talking about PvP content, minimally you would need 3 level 120s to be somewhat competitive. But this game isn't just about levels. You also need lots of equipment and vision cards to be competitive, if that's what you're thinking. It says, if you want to do all content though, YT, you will need to just pick units that are designed to beat all content. In other words, not every content is created equal, right? If you want to defeat Raid, you're probably not going to be successful unless you cater yourself to that specific content. So I think, unfortunately, since you are a new player, I would highly suggest doing a little bit of research before you progressing in terms of building things, because you may want to ask yourself, what is your number one goal when playing this game? Do you want to go heavily on PvE, or do you want to go heavily towards PvP? Because it is not interchangeable at times. And there are moments where I tell myself that if I could ignore PvP altogether, I would. Which means that a lot of the units you build, you're gonna have to think in that way. Since you follow Lego, you might like The Rock. Thank you, Instagram. Appreciate that. So I run into this issue myself. Like, if you really want to do really well on PvE content, a lot of units are actually catered more for PvE than for PvP and vice versa. My suggestion is do a little research. I suggest go to ultimate.jp. So that is UTE ultima.jp. Just Google it. That will give you the current situations on the JP server, the updated versions in terms of ranking, how each unit does well in PvP or does well in PvE. I highly suggest using that website. For me, it's the most reliable source, and so far it's done its job for me in terms of me choosing things. Edward, it's always fun to chat with you. I will see you next week, hopefully Friday, because next week I'll be working Friday and Saturday, so I'll definitely stream on Friday night. But I keep saying this over and over every week. I really want to add another night of streaming because I want to engage myself with other games. The only game I'm thinking right now is Summoner's War, because I really hope to gain more knowledge. I hope that people come to my stream and perhaps share their knowledge with me on that game, since the game is a lot different than the way I'm playing it. So if you guys are Summoner Wars fans or have been playing Summoner's War, definitely come help me out and getting me a little bit more knowledgeable about Summoner's War again. And maybe I'll just make little baby videos of those, asking the YouTube community, those who are Summoner's War fans, maybe come support me a little bit for that as well. So yes, no problem, YT. Hopefully that helps. When game started, I made 99 work for PvP and then moved from there to PvE. Low class match good, and then tight is nice, but then it maxed out, didn't like much. I think PvE are the primary focus. PvP should be more like, let's see how far we can go. Adrian hits it on the head. I think you should always concentrate on PvE. And once you do really well in PvE, you're going to allow yourself to gain more equipment, things like that. And most likely that will help you develop into perhaps better. Oh my god, did she just die again? Okay, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna go for an easier stage. I think this stage is too challenging for my Liard because she keeps dying and her faith is just gonna drop to garbage. But grinding in this game is truly where this game can hurt a lot of people. I think if you hate grinding, this is probably not the game for you to begin with. If you don't mind grinding, it's actually a really good game if you just not grind, in terms of literally glued to your phone grind. And hopefully that will be in my video when I talk about it, because I think when you just let the game auto battle all the time, right, and you're not actually playing the game. Maybe you go to the gym and you put on auto battle and you leave the phone somewhere and you just auto battle, right? Auto farm, and then you go work out. After you're done, you got all your quests done, you got all your loot, you can actually sit there and manual perhaps some of the events or some PvP action, and I think you're gonna gain more fun out of it. Joining multiplayer, I realized it was pretty toxic for me, man. Like, I hated it. I used to play with my guildies with raiding. Then I realized how tedious that was. It was definitely not worth the effort, as much as I should help my guildies, by the way. I just hated it. I hated it. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I think it was stupid. I think it's poorly designed. And I think it's a time waster in that sense. When you just click on 50 auto battle for the events on brutal, and you can accomplish beating that, and you can farm all the recipes without even being next to your phone or your computer, I think that's a win, right? Go hang out with your kids. Maybe build a Lego set with them. Maybe go have dinner with your fiance or your wife or your husband while your game is playing by itself. And in about 5 hours, you come back, boom, your recipes are done. Just a suggestion. All right, let's see what Ronti is saying now. My biggest drawback lately is the lack of content outside of raids. I agree. And that box event and the constant new units that complement raids and that box event. Yes, box event does suck, even though a lot of people like it. When was the last time we had a tower? I would say 3 months ago. The only excitement is to wait for the news to pop up the whole week is just bland for me. Yes, I agree. 4.2-9. Yeah, I know stage 2 is for residents, but I'm just grinding weapon proficiency. See how my units keep dying? That means I'm too weak for this stage. I've lost 3 units on this stage. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to a different stage. So, Allies of Mine is recommended for Allies of Mine. Chapter 723, no Allies of Mine. All right, let's do that one. Chapter 723. I will go check that out. And also, I'm gonna do a poll, by the way. What do you guys think about enjoying me streaming on Twitch in addition to YouTube? Would you guys prefer Twitch, or you guys are okay with YouTube? Because I know a lot of people don't like Twitch, by the way. I haven't streamed on Twitch, just FYI, I haven't done it yet. I don't intend to be a full-time streamer either, though. That's the other thing. So making money on Twitch would not be ideal, but making money is just one thing. So I'm gonna take some advice from Christopher 723. And then this will keep me hands-free to chat. Because I think that's what streaming is all about, chatting. Let's try it. I like Twitch, but my internet hates it, really. Okay. Because there's this like war between Twitch and YouTube. And this one guy that I watch, I don't have a good impression of Twitch. So a lot of people don't have a good impression of Twitch. And there's this guy that I watch, his name is Alpha Gaming. He's on YouTube. And he used to stream on Twitch, but he says he hates it because there's so much bad stuff going on. Things like that. So, dang it, dude. She almost killed my guy one hit. If I didn't get this done, I would have lost the unit. Actually, this map makes sense because it's just one person you're beating up on. I generally speaking really enjoy weapon proficiency leveling on multiplayer, which is kind of ironic because I keep saying multiplayer sucks, but you know, I use my free-to-play account and I use my main account, and then I just level alternately leveling the weapons for one or the other unit. But yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably stream somewhere midweek on Summoner's War just for some fun, just because I'm playing, and then I want to kind of see if I can gather a crowd to kind of educate me to get better at it. And then for this, I'll definitely just stream on Fridays, and I think I will update news or something worthy of discussion. And lately it's been very bland. You guys are already concurring to the idea that events are very bland in this game. You know, actually I'm essentially skipping this event that's out right now, right? It's pretty boring. It's actually quite boring. And there's really nothing to be farming. If you're not multiplayer, there's really nothing to farm. By the way, multiplayer is actually pretty good if you're hanging out with someone who streams, right? I'm streaming, generally speaking, on Fridays. I farm with people or I help people out to do multiplayer. But when I'm not streaming, I don't even play multiplayer anymore. It's not really worth it for me. It's like the value of spending my time versus the value of I could be doing something else is just not worthwhile. And I think that's the beauty of streaming for me, is I get to hang out with a lot of people, you know, at the same time, and you get to just talk about stuff. I think maybe I need to take her out because she can't take a hit at all, even though she should be a physical tank. Oh no, sorry, she's not a physical tank. She's more like a magical tank. Yeah, most revolt game is PvP or units review for PvP. Yeah, it's. I think you hit it on the head. Like, well, to be fair, most streams are either about two things, right? You either polling / summoning for something new, or you're PvP, and essentially that's what it is. Unless you guys enjoy just watching me doing farming all day long, and we can just have conversations about random things. But I think, generally speaking, when people go watch YouTube, they like to learn something. Seemingly, that's where my most popular videos is about, when I talk about something that can potentially help someone. People don't like to watch YouTube just for entertainment a lot of times. They like to watch it to learn something. And I'll be honest, I'm not really good at just teaching people all the time about everything, because I'm not that guy. I'm not good at it. How much do you enjoy Summoner's War? Like, would you get up in the morning and log in and play hardcore? Actually, that's all I do, Dave. Back in the days, I will get up in the morning, log in right away, and farm all day long. And I never get sick of it. I think the only reason I quit is because I quit mobile game altogether. That was the reason I quit. And it's funny how I actually wanted to get back into it was because I was streaming this game and I just wanted to see if I remember my password. After I got off the stream, I would say a month ago, I still had my email on there. So what I did was I logged back in. Luckily, everything was there. No one hacked my stuff. And I'm like, wow. Is bringing back so much memories. There's a lot of terrible things in that game, by the way, like the whole RNG factor of farming runes, which is like, imagine like us farming equipment in this game, right? I'm sure you already know this, David, but this is for other people who don't know. Imagine you're farming equipment in this game and it doesn't give you the right stats. And the only way to get rid of it is you have to find a new way to re-roll the stats, or you have to reset it. And like the way we do in this game, we have to reset it. But imagine you have to constantly reset and you have to wait for the hammers every month. That's how tedious that game was. But that's part of the chase, right? The part of the farming process in that game is an endless chase for the perfect runes. And I think for me, I don't mind it anymore because I don't really care anymore about PvP. So the way I'm chasing things I have a different mentality. I have a different approach to Summoner's War this time around. Like, I don't get angry, or like I told my fiance, she's like, why do you play that game? Like, you used to get so angry. It's true. I used to get so frustrated when things happen to me. But now I don't care. Like, I don't think about it in that terms. I'm very calm. I'm like, okay, I lost in this PvP match. No big deal, right? I know I'm behind in the curve anyway, so the expectation is different. And then farming for the runes, they made the game a little bit easier, by the way, to farm the runes. So I'm like, I'm just trying to find new ways to kind of mess with it, to try to get better at it. And that's my motivation. That's all it really is. Yes, so back in the days, I used to be that way, where I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with trying to get natural 5 stars, which is equivalency of URs to this game. But now I'm not. I'm not obsessed with getting UR units. I'm not obsessed with the PvP content. I'm not obsessed with not getting the runes that I want. So I'm not obsessed with any of those. But I'm still enjoying waking up in the morning, logging in, and then just start the auto farming all day long. I enjoy that. And then it's like, right now I'm farming it right now. Here, I'll show you. Right now I'm farming it right now on my old ass iPhone 5. And what happens is they finally implemented repeat functions where you can farm more than just one. Because back in the days, it's kind of like how we play multiplayer, right? You farm and then you have to click, you gotta click, and then you start over. Now I just set it for 10 times and then it just auto farms. I wish they set it for 100 and then you can just let it run all night, but it's probably the reason why they don't do that, so people don't run it all night. That right, mental fortitude testing. I think these gacha games are more like a test of your mental fortitude. It really is. Like, if you are a healthy, mentally healthy adult, you know, and I say that with whatever you want to inject that into your own thinking, it's okay, I'm gonna stop because my guy keeps dying. I don't want her to keep dying, so I'm gonna take her out. But really is, I think it's your approach. Your approach to the game is what ultimately makes you. Look at how tedious this is though. Like, all that grinding and I only got D. I just need to give her a little bit better equipment maybe. Since that girl is all about slashing me over and over, yeesh. Maybe we need to give something that's anti-slash. Where are you, anti-slash? There you go. She should be A, so she is done. So she is done. I'm really looking to farm something, so was it light? Light is one of them. But I believe all my units are kind of good on that. And then I think lightning is the other one. I think that's good too. Earth, I think I'm good. So let's just put a tank in so they don't do any damage but absorb all the hits. So I'm just gonna put my tank for now. No, and then just let's see. Put this, because this gives dex, and then yeah, that's good enough, right? There we go. The reason I say that is I had a game in the past that I really enjoyed, Get Up Run Hardcore, and because of the stress. Yeah, I think that I like Dragon Ball Legends. You can fight PvP. Anyways, agree with you should have Summoner's War a chance if you really enjoy it. I really enjoy Epic 7 right now, even after all the love and hate relationship with it in the past, but I play less PvP. See, that's the thing. I tried Epic 7, David, because Epic 7 essentially is like a upgraded version of, it's like literally a carbon copy of Summoner's War, except it's upgraded, it's updated, right? Like, if you think about it, it's the same. Like it's literally the same, right? It's all about PvP because all that grinding you do, it leads you to PvP, and the success of the success of your account really is measured based on how well you do in Guild Wars, how well you do in PvP, right? But Epic 7, I tried it. Like I really gave it a try, and as much as aesthetically pleasing it was even worse in terms of the grind in certain aspects. And also approach it with a mentality of like, hey man, I gotta do this every single week to get to a point. But then if you think about it, once you get to that certain point, I think it probably was you that mentioned it, it just means you're gonna get bored of it faster when you get to a certain point. So I think the chase is what we're all after. I say the same thing about collecting Transformers. I'm after the chase. I'm not really after completing my entire set because there's no actually completing it. Because in your own mind, like once you actually get the new item, you're already looking ahead to the next new item. So that constant chase, the constant rotation of chasing keeps the hobby going, right? Because if I said, all right, once I get that new Transformer, the new Optimus Prime this year, then I'm done. But that's not the case. That's not what I am. That's not what I'm about. And I think that's the beauty of Summoner's War. Is that you can, okay, if you guys play Summoner's War, well, you play Epic 7, so you know how hard it is to get the light and dark units. They're the hardest unit in the game to get, right? Because they have their own separate thing that you have to do to get them. And generally speaking, the best PvP units are the light and dark versions, right? You know this. Well, it's the same thing applies to Summoner's War. The best PvP units are light and dark. And still till this day, I do not own one light or dark monster that's not free. I still haven't pulled a light or dark monster that's a UR quality, equivalency to War of the Visions. I used to be so mad. I used to be so angry at the game for not giving it to me. I don't care anymore because you know what? I don't really care about PvP. So if something comes along, great. If something doesn't come along, too bad, right? That's just the way it is. I don't spend any money on that game. So I'm just enjoying from the enjoyment aspect. And the other thing is, it's like Pokemon. It's like your goal is to try to collect them all for fun. That's something that people like to do, right? That's something people enjoy doing. And I think for me, I think really is just, I'm just right now just make my life easier doing the PvE content for that game. I love it. I love just trying to speed up the process. And that's my goal this time around, is try to get to that process of making all my PvE content grind faster. The faster I do it, then the more satisfied I become. Did you like the challenge aspect of the 3-star Esper fights? I did. And I think part of the advantage that I have as a streamer content creator is if people come watch me and they see me do it, and then they can give me advice. And I'll become a better player as a result. And that's why I still enjoy this aspect of this lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, if I enjoy a game and I can share it with the community and the community likes to share back with me, I love it. It makes me love it even more. It really does. And it's just a shame that I haven't been doing as much because I realized I've been putting way too much effort into this when I should be putting a lot more effort into my other part of life. Or have a fine balance. I think there you go. I got a nice room just now. See, that makes me happy, even though it may not work out at the end of the day, but just the fact that you get a little excitement when that happens. Well, my fiance put it best today. 1, she says, if you don't enjoy doing it, don't do it. 2, you can maybe have a balance between doing YouTube and anything else you're doing with your life. And that's what I'm hoping, and I'm striving to do that, hopefully in the next few months. I want to keep this fine balance. Putting up a video once in a while is not a big deal, right? It's not. But it has to be a good content. It can't be bad. I think if it's bad, I would hate it. No, still not. So they do give me light and dark units, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's like they don't give you like you still have to pull for the quote unquote great ones. They give you some light and dark units for free, but everybody has those. I'm talking about like specific ones that everyone wants. For me, like there's only a few units that I really want. Like, oh my gosh, if I had it, I'll be, you know, even more happy or happier. But the odds of getting that is so low. It is so low that I don't even think about it anymore. I think it comes with the idea of expectation. The less expectation that you have, the better off when it does happen. Like that surprise. I think it makes you feel a little bit better. Wow, that's a good analogy. It's like eating pizza. I love it, but I can't eat it all day. I mean, you can. You can eat pizza all day, but what will end up happening is you're gonna have high blood pressure, diabetes. You're probably gonna be like 500 pounds, 600 pounds, and you probably end up being on that show, My 600-Pound Life, and all that stuff. So yes, you could do it. It's kind of like, you know, you're doing something wrong, but yet you still do it. I think that kind of goes with the whole mental fortitude we talked about earlier. I think all of this is just a testament of how much willpower you have. Are you looking forward to any units? I am. I'm looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII stuff. I think someone earlier mentioned that Final Fantasy, War of Divisions. War of Divisions stated that Final Fantasy VII is probably going to draw a lot more attention to this game when the time comes. That's going to be their big ticket. I'm looking forward to playing with Tifa. I'm not going to lie. I would like to see her in action. I'm looking forward to Aerith, right? Aerith. I think she's going to be interesting. And Barrett, I think he's cool, but I'm not really looking forward to him. And then the other unit would be, what is it? Oh, Cloud. I mean, I already seen Cloud in action. I don't think there's any fancy about her or him. But, you know, if I spend money and the channel is generating me some cash by then, more and more cash by then. And yeah, I'll probably summon. I'll probably summon for Cloud, just to have him. I saw Cloud. I won my Mono Thunder. Not sure Summoner War lets you grind for that stuff. Oh, you can save currency on Epic now to get any unit you want. I've been able to get those Moonlight unit easier as free, but yes, it's a grind, but doable. Yeah, there's different ways that they, like recently, Summoners War just celebrated 7-year anniversary, and they have this summon session in which you can hone in on specific units that you want into your specific banner. So essentially what it is you create your own banner, and then you summon off of that banner only. It doesn't include any light or dark units, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Ranty, it's always good to see you. I know I don't see you that often, but I really appreciate you coming, hanging out with me. You have a good night. Take care. There is discussion, I think, because the game is so old, 7 years, that perhaps a lot of people are thinking that they're going to bring an easier way for a lot of players to get light and dark units. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, I'm not really thinking too much about it anymore, you know? I'm just playing for the shits and giggles, if you will. But in terms of War of the Visions, like I said, I'm still looking forward to Final Fantasy VII. I think if I literally have no more enjoyment with Final Fantasy VII, I'll probably just casually play this game, right? You know, maybe just stop covering content on it altogether. But we'll see. I think this game still has my attention. It's just not as much as before. And I'm not afraid to say that. But I think I built something solid here with... I think I built something solid with this channel. And I think I don't want to lose that, right? I don't want to lose that. So that's why I still want to do something with it every so often, for sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's not guaranteed. It's still playing the percentage. Maybe by year 8, it will be something guaranteed. But what was really cool was they did have a Street Fighter collaboration with Summoners War, which obviously I missed out on it because I came back right after the collaboration. It does make me sad because I really do enjoy Street Fighter. And M. Bison is in there, Ryu is in there, Ken is in there, Chun-Li. So I kind of wish they did that collaboration again because I would really enjoy it. I'm curious if only MR Guild Wars. Yes, if that is a thing, I will love that because then anyone and everyone can be really successful at it, right? I think what they need to do is have limited stuff. Like you can't have UR anything. So no UR equipment, no UR vision cards, and no UR so no UR equipment, no UR weapons, and no UR units. I think that would make really fun stuff. I got them. I got all of them. Yeah, Street Fighter collab was awesome. Like, but the thing was, what happened was, because of the copyright issues that they were having with Street Fighter in, I think, some countries, they essentially released other units that were same as the Street Fighter units in terms of skills. The only difference was, of course, the skins. So for other countries, instead of getting Street Fighter units, they would just get what would be considered the normal unit in the game, having the same set of skills. But in some of the other countries, they were able to get Street Fighter units in addition to what they will already be there. I thought that was pretty smart, probably because of the legal issues that they will be facing. But I thought that was a good idea that they did. So even though I don't have the Street Fighter units, I can still get the same units that have the same skills. It's just, of course, they're not Street Fighter units. Like, I really wish I would have just got M. Bison. I love M. Bison. He's probably one of my favorite characters of all time. I really wish I would have got an M. Bison. Just to have, look at him all day long, because it's cool, you know? The Ryu and Ken, they don't really impress me that much by the looks. I really wish I got the M. Bison. So Hadid, you play Summoners War? Is that what you're telling me? You say you got them all? You also said that Valkyrie Connect have LOTE collab. What is LOTE? I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so I did some farming while we're chatting. Let's go ahead and take a look at my events and see how much did I do here. I know I started playing the events last night. How about Sid? No, you said Valkyrie Connect has... Oh, you meant Valkyrie Connect has lots collab, right? Like LOTS. How about Sid? What do you mean, how about Sid? Koi, what do you mean? What do you mean, how about Sid? So it looks like I'm on level 8. So this is level 35. This should be pretty easy. Like if they bring Sid back, Attack on Titan, 7 Deadly Sins, One Punch, Street Fighter. Really? Valkyrie Connect had Street Fighter and 7 Deadly Sins? I guess if they bring Final Fantasy Tactics back for War of Divisions, I guess it depends what unit they bring. I would definitely be interested in that. But I think for me, I'm gonna skip literally like 90% of the units coming out from now on, and just kind of wait for the 120 cycle, and then just bring all my units up to date. Because I think PvE, I don't really have any issues until the game itself starts to make content that's challenging for non-120s. Wow, that's pretty awesome that they have all those different collaborations. You know what? The thing is with gacha game is the rates are always going to be bad. They want you to spend money. That's all really what it is. Holy crap, that's a lot of different units. I never played Valkyrie Connect. Did I try Valkyrie Connect? I may have tried it, but I didn't really enjoy it. Okay, this is only 3, so this one should be easy. Silma. Alright, Silma. Cool story, man. Yeah, maybe one day they will bring back Street Fighter for Summoner's War. That would be pretty neat. It's just so hard to get into that market now. Summoner's War has so many content creators. And I'm not really looking to get big with it. I just want some people to come hang out with me and help me get better at that game, really. That's all it really is. Like, I played Seven Deadly Sins so much when that game was out, Grand Cross, but that game is also very blah after a while. It's just the same redundant characters they release over and over. See, I don't like that formula, right? I don't enjoy the formula of them releasing something new every single week. And I think the beauty of playing Summoner's Wars is the fact that they only release brand new units every so often. Like, I played for 2.5 years, then I quit for 3.5 years, almost 4 years. And the amount of time that I missed, there's only been a handful of new units they released. And I think now I think about it, I enjoy that old formula way more than the new formula, where they literally give you something brand new every week to 2. It's harder to keep up this way. So I think that's why I'm really enjoying my second go around with Summoner's War. Seven Deadly Sins pushed the boundaries way too fast, and that's why it's gonna die. I think they put out too many new content for Seven Deadly Sins too fast, and now you're at the point of diminishing returns. That means no matter what they put out, people don't really enjoy it as much. Or they get out to the point where they're running out of things, and all the money they're trying to make is just different skin versions of the same old ass units that they've been having for, how many versions of Escanar do you really need? That's why I think Grand Cross made a lot of people money in terms of content creation, but it's also gonna just go away very quickly as well. It's a shame too, because that was a great game. That was a game that I wanted to make content on, but I'll be honest, there are just a lot of content creators I cannot stand playing that game. I cannot stand looking at their faces. I cannot stand to hear the way they talk. I just hated it. And that game was all about grinding and doing the same old thing over and over. But every mobile game nowadays has just a large amount of people enjoying the same content creators. I think doing this full time, it's very good if I was in my 20s, man. Like, if I was in my 20s, this would have been something I would really enjoy doing, making like a lot of money from it. But at my current age, I don't think I can do this for a long time. No way. I can't be glued to my computer all day. I wouldn't really enjoy it. Cosmetics are paymax. That's true. Like, are you asking me when Sid is getting EX, or are you asking me I can't wait for it? Like, I can't wait for Sid to get his EX because maybe he'll become viable again. Oh shit, King of Fighters collab? Nice. That's really weird, by the way. Oh, I would love for Sid to get his EX sometime soon, man. He was the motivation of why I played this game. See, I don't think we're ever going to get to that point where we get like collabs of that nature. Which is kind of weird, because if you think about it, we're going to be getting Tomb Raider, which doesn't fit into the theme of War of Divisions, right? But can you guys imagine if we got Dragon Ball Z characters in War of Divisions and things like that? I would like to see, what is that called? Alchemist? Full Metal Alchemist. I would like to see Full Metal Alchemist. because they had that collab for TAC. I really enjoyed Full Metal Alchemist characters. And then they had Disgaea. I don't know how you pronounce it. I know a lot of people try to play that game. That's a new game out. I can't stand Disgaea. It's too outrageous with the damage and everything. Full Metal is out right now? Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to see that on War of Divisions. I think War of Divisions is going to be very selective in their collaborations. And by the way, I lost like 10 pounds to get ready for the wedding. I think my face is a little bit skinnier. I can kind of tell from my own video. I can tell from my own imagery that I got a little skinnier. I missed it. How many runs am I supposed to do this? Yeah, who knows? I don't know, man. Like collaborations, I think collaborations is ultimately what makes mobile gaming very fun. Like the fact that you can play with units from different games in one thing. You know, the other option I was thinking of doing was I could always find one of those things that I can start streaming my Nintendo Switch, because there's a lot of really good games that I would love to be able to play and stream. I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, that's a good point, David. I think it's kind of hard to put in other characters into a gameplay of this style. Yes, I agree. That's a little challenging. I'm not gonna lie, Hadid, that's my favorite. It's gonna be Chrono Trigger if they ever do it. Thanks, Applejacks. Yeah, no, I just kind of essentially just started eating cleaner for like 6 weeks. And I really needed to fit into my clothes that I bought for weddings previously. And I just didn't want to go out and spend more money on new clothes. That's always the motivation, right? You want to look better, feel better. And turns out it wasn't that hard this time. And I would just do like some push-ups here and there. And that kind of aided in the process. As I mentioned before, they're opening up a gym. So I'm gonna try to go to the gym more often. And there's no excuses this time, because this gym has literally everything I could ask for in terms of exercises. And it has a sauna, which I cannot wait, because oh my goodness, I'm a big sucker for sauna. I love saunas. But kind of makes me think though, do I really want to go into a sauna when there's like COVID, you know? Because do you really want to wear a mask in a sauna where the virus is just all over the place in the room, if you think about it, right? Can you imagine going to the sauna and you have to wear a mask and how humid it would be? I guess we'll see how that works, because those warm conditions are probably really good for like viruses and bacteria and things like that to grow. So we're gonna have to see how that works. Yeah, saunas are really good for you. Like if you sweat out a lot of, like supposedly if you sweat a lot, it opens up your pores. A lot of the nasty junk your body's trying to get rid of can be gotten rid of through your pores and your skin. And then it also relaxes you quite a bit, and then you'll sleep better at night as well. I was addicted to it back in the days when I was in college, because the gym that we had in college, it had sauna, and I used to go there like 3 times a week. And I remember I used to sleep like such a baby after I do the saunas. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. That's gonna start happening in July. So maybe by end of this year, I should start getting into better shape Maybe I'll even like get a 6-pack finally in my life. You never know, right? Well, then again, I never had a 6-pack when I was a kid, so I always had a little pudge in my belly, but I don't do anything extreme. I just don't eat a super lot of carbs. So Koi says FMA. What does that mean? FMA. FMA. I'm trying to think an acronym with FMA. So you guys also notice that these events, it's all the same. You fight the same boring ass enemy units all the time. Unless it's like a super collab, right? It's pretty boring. Oh, Full Metal Alchemist. I thought that one slipped by me. I hope one day they will maybe bring Full Metal Alchemist. That's a very popular anime. Okay, we are on level 10 here. Pretty sure this one you have to do it 10 times. And then it'll open up the EX. Oh my god, Macross? That's crazy. You know the thing is in JP, collabs is like a daily thing. They do so many collabs in JP, which is why I love collabs. So this is what really got me all excited about collabs and things like that. Yeah, I remember Dr. Stone. I actually played a little bit of Last Claudia during the first Dr. Stone collab. I didn't get anything I wanted, so I quit. I deleted the game. Demon Slayer. That sounds pretty cool. Wait, what happened? Wait, I missed that. What was the condition? I have to beat somebody down to 50%? Is there a boss on this stage? You know, the funny thing is, that's funny because there's a delay in stream, so I actually went back on my second monitor, which is my laptop, to see what I missed. Looks like I just have to bring down Stern to 50% or less health to win. But I'm killing all his minions to gain weapon proficiency, so works out for me. Demon Slayer saw thin minimum game recently. Forgot where. You fight Rune Stern. Yeah, that makes sense. Can I beat him? Will I be able to defeat him? There he is. Well, I'm pretty sure my Warrior Black can solo him anyways. But to be fair, all my other guys are just getting some weapon proficiency. He's gonna slice and dice his way through. Because this is only level 45 or 40 content, right? So wow, he's doing like 80 damage. He's doing like 90 damage on average. No, 80 damage. 90 damage on average. I kind of wish they made Doritos a little bit bigger. Like Dorito looks so small. If you look in the video, Rune Stern looks like he's buffer than Durando. Durando looks so scrawny. Alright, let's check out the rewards. So looks like I only got a couple of good things from it. Boss. I think when I show people my free-to-play account on Summoners Wars, people are gonna be surprised how much stuff I have. But to be fair, I've been saving on that account for like over a couple of years. People are gonna say, "Oh, I don't believe you. You're not a free to play." I'm like, dude, what do I got to lose? I'm like, what do I have to gain to tell people I'm free to play? Moraga also looked like Durando anyway. Yeah. I wish they made him bigger. I really wish they made Durando and Moraga like just massive. You know what I mean? Like they would be like some of my favorite units if they were just brah, like all jacked, all like full of muscles. Because the size discrepancy definitely doesn't really show. Like a guy who's wielding giant axe should be just massive, like some of those Conan movies. But I think this event is very boring, right? You guys already beat it, but it's pretty boring. I guess Moraga works out and he keeps a slim figure because he probably eats clean. He probably eats like a caveman diet or something. Moraga's got the He-Man syndrome. Where he's like super buff, but he's got a baby waist. I think a lot of these guys skip leg days, man. They're not leg day people. If you take a look how skinny Rune Stern's legs are. They're top heavy so they can carry the big sword, but they skip leg days. Yeah, Koi, I figured that out. I saw, Hadid said Full Metal Alchemist. And Moraga get Brave Shift like FFBE. See, I don't know what that is because I stopped playing FFBE a long time ago. Because that game basically turned into nonsense. It's worse than He-Man. I know you guys love my Skeletor April Fool's joke. I know you guys loved it because some people said, man, Skeletor in this game would be dope. I would be pretty creative in character design. I think it's a pretty cool idea that the Skeletor can, like, he can just morph into 4 units, you know, earth, fire, ice, wind or something. And they can all do different things, but they each get a quarter hit points of the main Skeletor. And then you gotta fight those 4 units. Oh man, imagine how cool that would be. Yeah, FFBE has kind of gone down the gutter. A lot of people said it went down the gutter with their stupid Neo Vision stuff. I think it's ridiculous that Gumi is a huge fan of power creep. I don't understand it. Like when you create an entire dossier of 200 different units in a game and then you create souped up version of those in just a short amount of time, that's terrible planning in my opinion. Yes, He-Man and War of Divisions. It fits nicely if you think about it. People use guns in He-Man, they use lasers. And everyone in He-Man, they're all jacked. There's like all these like goofy looking characters like Beastman and Merman. And remember the Ninja? They were not very creative with their names in the 80s. Such stupid names. And then they had the King Hiss and his army. Oh man, the Snake Men. They had, I think my favorite was Fisto. Fisto was probably one of my favorites because of the fact that he had that big ass fist. I remember when I was playing with that action figure when I was a kid, that was a lot of fun for me. And you can definitely think of a lot of dirty jokes with He-Man names. I think it will fit nicely with this game if you think about it though, because there's a lot of people of my age who would definitely probably spend some money to get He-Man things. You could guarantee Neo Vision? No thanks. I definitely would not support. I will 100% not support FFBE. I think one Gumi game at a time is more than enough. Okay, I will get to 5 out of 10 and then I'm going to cut the stream off. It's been 2 hours. That's generally my max. Like my brain starts hurting. I started getting headaches when I stream. after like I hit the 2 hour mark. So yes, I've tried Genshin Impact, David. I actually enjoyed it a lot, believe it or not. I actually quite enjoyed it. That would have been a game I would have played if they didn't have the gacha aspect. Like, it was essentially Breath of the Wild. I mean, I'm gonna say it. It's Breath of the Wild. It's just, I'm not a fan of gacha in a game like that. I know a lot of people love it, and I know it's already made like tons of money. But when they start doing gacha systems in those type of games, no way. Yeah, like Go Baz. I remember Go Baz. I was like, Go Baz was like essentially a palace swap, right? I think that's why people are saying Moraga is going to come to fruition for us. I did enjoy Genshin Impact. I really did. I really did. I just felt like I didn't really want to jump on that bandwagon because I know a lot of people would. And you can get a lot of people to subscribe to you and watch you and things like that, but you know. Yeah, the city, I was like waiting for that game to come out for the longest time. But I just don't like the graphics. It's just too kiddish, and I didn't like it. Like, it's okay to be cartoonish and kiddish, but not like that. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. It just looked very boring to me. Like, I like the War of Vision art, clearly. I think it's very nice. Very appealing to the eyes. Look at how smart Marielle is. She's like seeking out those she's seeking out those little gems so she can replenish her bravery. So she died like 10 times in the other maps. I'm sorry, Marielle. I didn't mean to treat you like a scrub. But she's clearly not being worked on, right? Wow, you played that long? 3 years, huh? Awesome. Right now, the only game I'm looking forward to is Diablo 2. I don't know how many Diablo fans is in chat right now, but I'm a big fan of Diablo. I would play Diablo 2 a lot. And that's probably where I'll be leaning to play. I know there's already some guys that's dedicated to playing Diablo on YouTube. This one guy, I forgot his name. He's like this super fan of Diablo. He plays it all the time. I can't compete against them, but I would like to just play Diablo 2. I know this game does have a lot of eye candy. Yeah, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone after all those limited units. Because, you know, like, I don't even play with all of them. And now the game is giving them out for free, and they're really good. They're actually very competitive. It's like, why did I even go after all of them, you know? But I think Koi got me a little bit excited about Sid. Hopefully Final Fantasy Tactics comes back. So Agrias and Sid and Ramza and Delita, they get to 120 and make an impact on the game again. So those will be good times, right? Those will be good times. And I think that's another thing they perhaps need to really implement, is allow us to skip through these quests once we beat it the first time. Like, because you have to beat it the very first time so that you can watch the story. And I'm okay with that, right? Clearly, some people love that part. But give me skip tickets, man, so I can skip this. Like, why are we staring at this all day long? It's just... But to be fair, it is on auto, and I can just walk away since I can just put on repeat. But skipping it would be nice. Skipping it would essentially means you spend quality time playing this game and not like just quantity, right? You don't want to spend too much quantity. I agree, David. I think with Final Fantasy VII, it could make or break the game. And oh, look at that. I triggered the Whimsy shop. I don't think I need anything because there's nothing I need to buy. Oh, by the way, I guess you could say as a pro tip, don't exchange all of your guild until you have everything maxed out. Then you can get maximum gold. I just keep hoarding it. So I'll buy that. And there's really nothing else to buy. This batch purchase is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Alright, I got everything. Alright folks, that is it for me. I want to thank everybody for coming on sort of a non-traditional streaming day for me. I appreciate everyone that's been here tonight, especially some of the newer folks. Nice to meet you guys. Hopefully I can see you guys more often. I will definitely try to return back to Friday streaming. I think there are more people that are used to hanging out with me on Fridays. So I do apologize for not doing it on Friday and doing it tonight. But either way, I think it's ultimately just about having fun, sharing the same experience in a War of Divisions. And I think I got some good suggestions tonight. I will go ahead and do Summoner's War just to kind of test it out. So if you guys are Summoner's Wars fans, please come hang out with me when I do those. Or if you know people that like it, come hang out with me. How do you get streaming notifications? The easiest way to do it is if you subscribe to the channel, just click on notifications. It should notify you. If not, I'll usually post something telling you guys when I'll stream. But other than that, I try to always stream every Friday night, Hadid. So always come hang out with me. I know you got a lot of input about video games yourself, so that's always good. And yeah, so hopefully I'll start putting out more videos, not necessarily just on War of Divisions, but perhaps on other things. And maybe I'll do a poll to see if you guys feel like I can maybe turn this channel into more than just gaming. We'll see what happens with that. So until next time, take care of yourself, all your loved ones. Nashtaters out of here. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.